The Galactic Council had been in session for 14 standard cycles, and Ambassador Chen Wei still maintained the same composed expression she had worn since the beginning. Her hands remained folded, her breathing steady, even as the Zephyrian delegate hurled another accusation across the crystalline chamber. The humans, Krixtal chittered through his translator, mandibles clicking with agitation, are nothing more than primitive warmongers. They should be grateful we allow them to observe our proceedings at all. Around the circular chamber, representatives from 47 species nodded in agreement. The gentle Etherians hummed their consent while the towering Chronari simply grunted. For 3 years this had been the routine. Humanity would request membership in the Galactic Council, present their credentials, their technological achievements, their peaceful intentions, and 47 species would find 47 reasons to deny them. Chen had watched this dance play out 247 times now. She had memorized every excuse, every slight, every deliberate misinterpretation of human intentions. The accusations ranged from humanity, being too aggressive to insufficiently evolved, to potentially disruptive to galactic harmony. What the Council didn't seem to understand was that patience wasn't weakness. It was choice. Furthermore, continued the Mollusk Coalition representative, his tentacles writhing with indignation, their rapid expansion across their solar system demonstrates exactly the kind of unchecked growth that threatens established civilizations. Chen's aide, Commander Torres, shifted slightly beside her. She had seen that micro-movement before, in the moment before negotiations turned violent, before boardings became necessary, before humanity stopped asking and started taking. But Chen raised one finger almost imperceptibly and Torres stilled. Not yet. The Vorthan Trade Minister rose next, his scaled hide shimmering under the chamber's artificial suns. My people have monitored human communications for decades. Their entertainment media is filled with violence, conquest, and warfare. What rational species would willingly ally with such savages? A murmur of agreement rippled through the assembly. Chen noted how the Korthans, whose own history included the systematic elimination of 6 neighboring species, nodded particularly vigorously. She had been patient for 3 years. Humanity had been patient for 30. When first contact had occurred, humans had approached with open hands and genuine curiosity. They had shared their art, their music, their literature. They had offered technological exchanges, cultural programs, joint scientific endeavors. They had even provided military assistance to council members facing external threats, asking for nothing in return except consideration for membership. The council had taken everything offered and given nothing back. The human concept of democracy is particularly concerning, added the Cerebral Collective's spokesperson, her enlarged cranium pulsing with bioluminescent patterns. Allowing the uninformed masses to make decisions? Clearly they lack the sophistication necessary for galactic governance. Chen's expression didn't change, but those who knew humans well enough might have noticed the way her pupils dilated slightly, the almost invisible tension that crept into her shoulders. Commander Torres certainly noticed. He began calculating exit strategies and defensive positions purely on instinct. This was the moment. 3 years of diplomatic patience, of turning the other cheek, of proving humanity's peaceful intentions through restraint. And what had it earned them? More contempt, more dismissal, more casual cruelty disguised as civilized discourse. The Aquarian delegate was speaking now, his gill slits fluttering with amusement. Perhaps we should establish a probationary period of, another century. Give them time to evolve beyond their primitive. No. The word cut through the chamber like a plasma blade through butter. Every translator fell silent for a moment, as if the simple syllable had overloaded their systems. Chen Wei stood slowly, and for the first time in 3 years, every being in that chamber felt something they had never associated with the patient, diplomatic humans. Fear. I said no. Chen's voice remained level, conversational even. But something fundamental had shifted in the chamber's atmosphere. For 30 years, humanity has approached this council with respect, with hope, with genuine desire for partnership. We have shared our knowledge, our resources, our blood when called upon. We have been patient. She walked to the center of the chamber, her footsteps echoing in the sudden silence. But patience is not infinite, and respect is earned through mutual courtesy. Her dark eyes swept across the assembly, meeting each delegate's gaze in turn. You speak of our violence, our aggression, our primitive nature. You seem to have forgotten that every species in this chamber exists because humanity chose to defend rather than conquer. The Zephyrian delegate started to object, but Chen continued as if he hadn't spoken. The Chronari invasion of the Etherian worlds? Human intervention saved 40 billion lives. The void plague that threatened the cerebral collective? Human medical technology provided the cure. The trade disputes that nearly sparked a three-way war in the Vorthan sector? Human diplomacy prevented galactic catastrophe. She reached the center of the chamber and stopped, her voice dropping to barely above a whisper. We have been patient. We have been peaceful. We have proven our worth 1,000 times over. But you continue to treat us like children begging for scraps at the adults' table. The silence stretched for nearly a full minute before Chen spoke again. Humanity withdraws its application for council membership effective immediately. We also withdraw our protection, our aid, our cooperation, and our patience. She turned toward the exit, then paused. The Sol Defense Fleet will escort any council ships out of human space within 72 hours. After that, you will be considered hostile and dealt with accordingly. As she reached the chamber doors, Chen looked back one final time. You wanted to see human aggression? Congratulations. You're about to learn why we tried so hard to keep it leashed. The doors sealed behind her with a soft whisper, leaving 47 species in stunned silence. Within 6 months, 3 trade routes had collapsed. 2 conflicts had escalated into system-wide wars, and the Void Plague had returned with unprecedented virulence. The Council sent 17 separate diplomatic missions to Sol. Humanity declined to see them. Some lessons, after all, require consequences to be truly learned.